While those thugs were tearing into my heart and liver, my dear husband was out winning and dining with his first love for their 10-year anniversary of meeting. I tried to send him a desperate voice note via WhatsApp, but all I got back was, "Don't think this will grab my attention. I won't go home tonight, you stupid clown." Honestly, I breathed a sigh of relief when he didn't come rushing to save me. Knowing him, I'd probably have ended up worse off. Fast forward 3 days and there he was, Mr. Top Forensic Guy, analyzing evidence from a citywide murder that had everyone gossiping. He was going on and on about the victim's last moments, how she fought for her life and all. Little did he know he was dissecting the death of his very own wife, the one he couldn't stand, yours truly. So there I was, tossed in a pile of garbage like yesterday's news. Real classy. An old man walking his dog then stumbled upon the scene and the furry pet chewed a black bag like a toy. The old man figured it was some discarded meat until out popped a human leg bone. Cue the shock and horror. Pretty soon they were uncovering more bodies all over town. It was like a nightmare come to life. The cops were all over it, setting up some special task force to crack the case. Who got called in? None other than my husband, Stephen Craig, the forensic analyst prodigy in town. He was on site analyzing blood spatters like it was some messed up art exhibit, but even he was taken aback by the horror show. "This is some next level brutality," he whispered, face going pale. The criminal investigation team leader, Xander Young, wanted him to break it down, and Steve was pointing out every detail like he was Sherlock Holmes. "See these stains? Looks like someone did some organ harvest. And those marks on the wall? Poor victim was awake the whole time." Xander's scratching his head saying, "So according to the forensic guys, our victim's a young woman under 30. I mean, who could she have ticked off to end up like this?" But Steve got a hunch. This isn't no random brutal hit. Someone's got a grudge and they're just getting started. And you know what? He was spot on. This just went to show my husband's instincts were sharper than a scalpel. I'd love to see his face when he finally pieced it all together. So they found a ring in the scene, the key physical evidence. Stephen picked it up all nonchalant, but Xander suddenly went quiet and whispered, "Stephen, isn't this ring a dead ringer for yours?" Stephen took a quick peek inside the ring, smooth as could be without a single engraving. He didn't sweat it and just brushed it off. It's probably just the same style. These rings were everywhere back then, you know. Once he was done, he lingered by the scene entrance for a while, lost in his thoughts. After a bit of contemplation, he glanced down and dialed my phone. It rang for a few seconds before he quickly hung up, no second thoughts. Look at her, acting all high and mighty after throwing fits every day. Whatever she isn't picking up, it's not her though. He was so sure of himself because our wedding ring had engravings on it. But seriously, my husband, being the forensic whiz that you are, shouldn't you know that metal engravings are the first to go? It only took me 6 months to buff out our initials. So the forensic team was doing their thing, patching me up with like 5 or 6 people pulling all-nighters. Meanwhile, my body was just lying there on the table. I was feeling queasy at the sight of all those body parts. Xander pointed to my body and said, "Look, the head's gone, fingers too, and there's a chunk missing from the ankle." Meanwhile, Stephen was silent, probably thinking about what made those parts different. Finally, he spoke up, "So who's the unlucky one?" Xander shook his head. "We gotta wait for the DNA results. As soon as someone files a missing person report, we'll jump on it and try to ID our mystery guest." My husband nodded, but he wasn't giving my body more than a quick glance. Was he grossed out? But to be real, this whole mess was thanks to him. Later at the meeting, Stephen threw out his wild theory. "I've been poking around recent cases, and it seems like we've got a pattern here. Similar stuff's gone down in your haven. They're into some seriously twisted stuff, gutting people, bleeding them out and cutting them into pieces.